We're learning new things all the time, including that we don't pronounce the second T in Toronto, and also that Jordan Lawlar might be the Diamondbacks' answer to center field in the future. All of that in 30 seconds. Don't you go anywhere. And welcome into another edition of the PHNX Dbacks podcast, live from Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K.
Derek, I think your SkeeYee got cut off. Why don't you do it one more time?
Got one more for SkeeYee to you all. SkeeYee to everyone out there. When you pull up, you yell SkeeYee. Great to have you guys here. This is the PHNX Blue Jays podcast, formerly known as the Diamondbacks podcast. Don't worry, we'll change back to that eventually. But for now, we support our friends from the north, and we are very much against the Dodgers at all times, always. Welcome into you guys. Glad to have you guys here. Deborah, Jason, great to see you guys here. Of course, this show is brought to you by our friends at Bet365 and Game Time. Make sure to use that code of PHNX365 when you sign up. Over there, you'll get yourself some bonus bets for following a few easy steps. Over at Game Time, use our code of PHNX. You'll get $20 off those already low last-minute ticket deals for your first purchase over there. And again, maybe some people might be using those tickets to get, or that fine app at Game Time to get themselves some last-minute tickets to the World Series. Game 5 of the World Series is tonight, is in Los Angeles, and we are down to a best-of-3 series, Damon. That's what we are down to. 3 games to dictate it all. Everything else is in the past. Nothing else from there matters. The winner of this best-of-3 series essentially takes home the crown as the champion of Major League Baseball. And it's exciting. Also, another thing, as we are finding out, you do not pronounce the second T in Toronto. That's something that I'm probably been doing. Did I just do it right now?
You did just do it right now, but us Canadians have known this for a while.
Sorry, Damon.
Derek.
Sorry, Damon Pooch. I didn't mean to.
Yeah,
that is the one, the only, the incomparable Damon dog on the ones and twos, and he knew that definitely. I kind of feel like I say Toronto. Yeah, Jason, it's just Toronto. That's it. That's how they say it. There's no emphasis on the T. I do know from my short-lived experience back east in Syracuse that there are a lot of words that have letters taken away or added to them. Today, our resident weirdo, Noah, was giving me all of the...
resident weirdo is a great way of
that's
putting Noah.
Exactly what I say resident, like the weirdo part, self-explanatory. But resident is because I am rarely here when Noah isn't. I get here in the morning, he's already there. When I leave at night, he's still here. I'm suspicious that he sleeps here at times. I'm just a little suspicious that he sleeps here, but he did fill me in on Michigan lingo there and how they add a T or an L to words that don't actually have, like a cross has a T on it, according to him in Michigan. But anyway, don't pronounce the T in Toronto, my friends from here in Arizona who are new Blue Jays fans. There's something to give you in regards to this Game 5 in this World Series. But man, huge Game 5. We've said it before, and again, it's not actually what the word means because it's not actually a must-win game. But for Toronto, with Trey Savage on the mound tonight, a rookie getting the start, you feel like this game is a must-win for them simply based on the fact of what is waiting for them in Game 6, quite frankly, in Yoshinobu Yamamoto. But going back to Savage, not only is it an amazing name, but it's remarkable given his limited big league experience, and that continues to be the story. It will be the story tonight of the Blue Jays leaning so heavily on their young rookie who started out the year in minor leagues and now, quite frankly, has is now here on the biggest stage of them all. Meanwhile, for the Dodgers, Blake Snell, a veteran left-hander, obviously will be taking the mound for them, and a guy who got rocked by the Blue Jays in his first start in the World Series, but is not that. I think that is something that we can all agree on. He definitely struggled in his first start, but up to that point, Blake Snell has been incredible. And again, these are the same two starters from Game 1. The Blue Jays already had an excellent game plan against Snell there. I just don't know if they're going to be able to continue to have the same game plan. I don't know if it'll work again. Blake Snell's just one of those guys. He's very consistent. He's been consistently good over the course of this season, so I'm just doubtful that they're going to be able to get to him as they have already. But who knows, man? Who knows? I definitely think that if they're patient, and again, they don't need to maybe put up 5 runs on Blake Snell, but they do need to try to get him out of the game and get to the bullpen as soon as possible. At this point, you feel like the bullpen stress and their stamina is going to be the biggest X factor in this World Series with these 3 games remaining. How much do either bullpen have left? How effective can they still be after that 18-inning marathon? Excuse me. 8 inning would have been great. 18 is what we all live through. But again, Toronto's offense showed their resilience yesterday. They showed their ability to come back, win that game last night, and put up 6 runs here against the Dodgers. And again, they just did not look overworked in the same way the Dodgers did. The Dodgers hitters looked tired. Their pitchers looked tired. Everybody looked tired except Shohei Ohtani. He is the only person that it just
and he never will be.
Runs differently. Yeah, he'll never tire out.
It's insane.
But again, the Dodgers have to figure out a way to get production, quite frankly. And avoid really going to their bullpen, quite frankly. What they need out of these final 3 games is the best starting pitching performances that any of these guys have given them up to this point. They'll need Blake Snell to go 6 innings plus. Yamamoto, I'm sure he's capable of another complete game. I'm sure he has it in him, or at least going 8. And then, I don't know what happens for them should this series reach Game 7. I mean, Tyler Glasnow wasn't terrible, but again, another short outing could spell disaster for the Dodgers. And really, it feels like things are kind of swinging back and forth in this series. Should the Blue Jays win tonight, you don't feel great about them closing out the series in Game 6 with Yamamoto on the mound. But they will be back home in Toronto. I'm pronouncing it right. I'm doing it right. So there's that. And again, the Dodgers lineup has been underperforming, quite frankly, in this series. Overall, they've underperformed all postseason long, and they've just received incredible starting pitching. This was the unstoppable force versus the immovable object that we thought we would see in the World Series, with these 2 teams being basically so opposite with their success as of late. The Blue Jays have been doing it with their bats. The Dodgers have been doing it with their pitchers. Typically, historically, pitching wins out. Typically, pitching is the thing that wins you championships, and we've seen that. But again, this Blue Jays offense is just dominant. So it's a matter of, what they can do and what Dave Roberts there can, do to tweak his lineup. He did hint at a potential lineup change. So it's interesting to ponder what that means for this team. It's already built really interesting in an interesting manner. Like Ohtani leading off is just not what you would think you would see out of a guy like Ohtani with his power, but obviously the Dodgers want to make sure he literally gets as many at-bats as he possibly can every single game. So from that perspective, it makes all the sense in the world. But again, this will come down to what adjustments they can make, and if the Dodgers offense can find a way to be more effective than they have been over a few games in this World Series. And of course, if Toronto wins this game, they head back with a 3-2 lead, and it looks like they would be in a dominant position at that point. Meanwhile, a loss definitely puts the Toronto Blue Jays in a pretty hard spot with who they have coming up with in Game 6 there. Yamamoto has just looked unhittable in this postseason run, and he is one of the guys that has continued to get better as things have gone on. So he has proven to be worth every dime that the Dodgers spent on him, and he has by far been their most valuable player during this postseason run. But again, if he can come out and dominate the Blue Jays again, then it's a wrap. So that's why this feels like this is very much a must-win there for the Blue Jays with Yamamoto on the horizon for them. But again, Game 5, I guess, just has the kind of must-win for both teams, right, Damon? Like going back to Toronto with a 3-2 lead, seems like the Blue Jays inevitably win this. If the Dodgers find a way to win tonight, it feels like there's no way that the Blue Jays can overcome Yamamoto there in Game 6. Neither of those things I said are true. Both of them are just me speculating, and neither means anything, but that's just the way that this series feels.
Yeah, I mean, I listen, as a Blue Jays fan my entire life, born to be a Blue Jay.
Where's your hat? You were wearing your hat all day yesterday. You just wanted...
It's not game day. It's not game day, Derek. That's my game day hat.
I mean, it's game day, Damon. There's a game tonight. Oh, no. Oh, anyway, go ahead.
I thought it was tomorrow. This is a disaster.
Tomorrow's a travel day. They're playing on Halloween. I don't know why they have to play on Halloween. I like Halloween. I like doing stuff on Halloween. I don't want to worry about a World Series game on Halloween.
Rob Manfred doesn't care about anyone else's schedule or what makes sense, Derek. He only cares about making the most ass-backwards baseball schedule of all time.
It's so stupid.
But, yeah, that being said, I mean, Listen, I think that if the Blue Jays lose tonight, it feels terrible because it's gonna be really difficult to beat the Dodgers 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna say that I feel great if they win, but it definitely feels like the pressure is off you a little bit for a very short amount of time. Because if you lose Game 6, now all of a sudden it's just a winner-take-all game in Game 7. So I think that for my and the sake of Blue Jays Nation everywhere, we need a W tonight just to feel decent about our chances the rest of the way, because I don't like being down and having to come back against the Dodgers. That feels bad.
No, it feels very bad, Damon. You're not wrong about that, but a lot of things feel bad, especially having to watch all of this from the outside looking in and having to pick the Toronto Blue Jays team as our savior here for not just us as Diamondbacks fans, but our savior for all of baseball. Once again, the Blue Jays fans, or Blue Jays in general, are our last hope to ensure that the Dodgers don't become a dynasty right before our eyes, and they already are. I saw them talking on Foul Territory about this team not being hateable, and it goes back to what I was saying. So they agree with me.
I'm just so sick of hearing that.
I know.
There's nothing I want to hear less than that.
They said you can root against them. It's just hard to hate the guys on the team. And this is coming from AJ Przinsky, who quite frankly is a guy that was very hateable if you were against him back in his day, as are many guys at times in baseball. There's always hateable guys on every team. But Damon, you as the person that hates the Dodgers more than anyone else I know, can you justify the hate, or do you once again feel like it's just hating an entire franchise as a whole?
I find myself hating, and listen, I understand what people are saying when they're like, "Oh, Mookie Betts, he's the best." Cool, dude. I guess I don't know.
Sleeper agent.
Otani is not the perfect little angel saint that everyone makes him out to be. That's clear. That's clear as day.
Master, pulling the strings.
And obviously we're tongue in cheek with it, but he clearly is not this great guy. Let's talk about the financial real estate scheme as well, where he's trying to take hundreds of $1 million out of a guy's pocket. He's involved with shady stuff. Freddie Freeman admittedly seems like an awesome dude.
All right.
Now let's talk about Max Muncy.
Okay.
Let's talk about Clayton Kershaw. Let's talk about all these bums that are actually very hateable, that I think make the Dodgers easily hateable. I think that people just look at
Hernandez.
I think that people look at the triumvirate on the Dodgers at the top, and they say Mookie, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei are not hateable, which that last one is extremely debatable. But the first two are I get. I understand it. Yeah. And I think that they because of that, they don't look at the rest of the roster where I'm like, I freaking hate Max Muncy. I hate him. Will Smith? I want to punch him in his stupid little Will Smith face. I mean, those there are very unlikable dudes that are on the Dodgers. Fact. Well, maybe it's not the guys that are the biggest stars.
One of their most hated, obviously, and you could say the same about the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are not a hateable team, right? Dalton Varsho, I love Dalton Varsho. It kind of has a hateable face. That I can understand a
Yeah,
little
but
bit.
he doesn't play a hateable style of baseball. He's a very fun baseball player. I think
he's incredible. Well, and again, they like bring up like Alejandro Kirk, who looks like a guy that's playing in a softball beer league, and he's out there ripping home runs in the World Series, right? But obviously, it's George Springer. George Springer is the Dodgers' main villain, and they are
GOAT.
unapologetic about him being.
I don't get it.
out of the. Oh, I don't know if you knew this, but something that was circulating around in the Dodger fandom was that George Springer was allegedly wearing an Apple Watch during his at-bats, which is alleged because there's no pictures of it. He simply had like a square, like this is an Apple Watch, and he had like, you could see it underneath his, shirt, right? But it's
wait, and you're telling me that helped the Astros beat the Dodgers in the World Series?
No, I mean, he's wearing it right now in the World Series.
Oh.
As a member of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Love that. He's just trolling the Dodgers fans.
And I think
someone should start beating a trash can just for no reason in the dugout, like not for any rhyme or reason, just to make them think like, oh my God, do they have our pitches? That'd be great.
Yeah, well, his MRI was negative, by the way, on his injured oblique, and Blue Jays manager John Schneider said that his status is hour to hour is what he characterized it as. So he was off of the lineup in Game 4. It would appear he's off of the lineup for Game 5, but I could be incorrect about that. So we'll see what happens. But again, he should be available off the bench, and a big loss there still for the Blue Jays if George Springer isn't right. Even if he's in the lineup, he's probably going to be feeling the effects of that oblique. So
he'd probably DH, you'd think, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure he would DH, and even then, it's just so hard to. It's hard to swing with an oblique injury. It's hard to do anything. Like, I don't know. It's one of those really uncomfortable injuries, but specifically rotating your torso is so difficult and so painful, and that's kind of something you need to do to hit a baseball. But we do have,
unless you're built different.
Unless you have an Apple Watch that helps you cheat, and then
I would just allow my hatred for the Dodgers to heal my body, similar to like a Wolverine style, like where like you just regenerate skin and everything, because that's how much I hate the Dodgers.
You're familiar with the Hardy Boys in pro wrestling, right? Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy,
yeah.
Right? Yeah, Matt Hardy.
Hardy, I'm not familiar with.
It's his brother Matt. He has a lake of reincarnation, and sometimes they go into it when they need to be regenerated
naturally.
In a similar path. It's what's allowed them to stick around in pro wrestling this long. So maybe we can have a few guys step through there for sure. But Michael Dixon is absolutely right. He says Jays got to win tonight, and they do, man. The Blue Jays need to win tonight because this is a tough scenario. Quite frankly, like I said earlier, Yamamoto has been incredible. Blake Snell has shown that he has his cracks and can be, at least for the most part, knocked out of a game early. They could drive that pitch count up and get him out before too long, and once again get to that bullpen. Getting to that bullpen is going to be key for the Blue Jays hitters, and I know that's the most simple non-baseball analysis that I could give, but it's so true, right? Like, the Dodgers bullpen is inconsistent. They've been bad all year, and quite frankly, they're lucky that they got the performance that they did out of them in that 18-inning marathon. But I think since that point, they are just taxed, and it's hard for Dave Roberts to find somebody to rely on right now. So you got to get to that bullpen as soon as possible.
You got to think that Klein is out for a minute, right?
He has to be. He pitched a full game.
Yeah, like he definitely can't pitch tonight. Do you think he's going to be available for 6 and 7?
Probably. I mean, I think everybody's available if by then, because you have the off day tomorrow, and then
it's the end of the season.
Then you have Friday and Saturday.
I just mean from a standpoint of like, is he going to be like healthy and ready to go, because a relief pitcher is not used to throwing that many pitches.
Especially when he said like he was just a month ago sitting here at home in Arizona, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just and are you going to get that out of him again? Like, was that just a moment? Like sometimes that's the biggest thing, is that, he was called upon and he understood the assignment. He understood he was going to go out there and be out there until the bitter end. And I mean, that's just a case where you're just shoving. You're just going out there and giving it your all. No one's going to fault you for a game in the World Series that's gone 14, 15 innings for giving up the run or whatever. I think having as much as that feels like all the pressure was on those two guys at that moment for both teams, I think that's when like you're just ripping it, right? Like you're just, who cares? You know, like at this point, I just got to go out and make some pitches, and that's all you can really focus on it. And quite frankly, there's no one that's going to come get you out. There's no one to relieve you. You know, you're literally the last person out of the pen. So I think that there was
Do you know how fired up I'd be if a D-backs relief pitcher did something like that? I mean, I would be like, we would obviously have some sort of like watch along setup or something going if the D-backs were in a high stakes game.
I mean, there'd be an effigy to that pitcher in this office.
Oh, I'd be like storming back and forth, just like prancing around. I'd have to get up out of my seat.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, quite frankly, I know we're going to talk tomorrow about free agent pitching options, but I'm already licking my chops at some of these guys because if we could get one of them in our bullpen, my God.
Is he available?
Yeah, is Klein available? Let's get him over here. He's not going to be the same with us that he was with the Dodgers. He's going to suck with us. So anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and we have I don't know if you want to call it breaking news, but some developments in the Lidom. We got Jordan Lawlar playing center field for the Tigres del Licey, and we're going to talk about on the other side of this break what it might mean for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Dbacks show. Well, you know I love Pure Edibles. They are an amazing company that was founded right here in Flagstaff, Arizona, up at Noble Herb Dispensary, the home of Pure Edibles. And now they're made right here in Phoenix, Arizona. They are a full-fledged candy company, not just gummies. They have a wide variety of candies, chews, hard candies. They have Kicks, which are their version of Starburst, and so much more. And they also come in a wide variety of flavors, most importantly, a wide variety of effects. And those effects are clearly listed on each tin, so do not miss out on the chance to shop the entire selection of Pure Edibles at a dispensary near you and pick up an effect specifically looking for. Like right now, great time for some mood elevating effects, as well as I love myself a good sleep edition gummy. So check out everything they have to offer, including their new collaboration with Mother Road Brewery up in Flagstaff. This was made specifically for me. It is the Noble Road Tower Station IPA all-in-one. It's happy hour all the time with the Tower Station IPA all-in-one. This new offering captures the crisp citrus and piney hops of Arizona's favorite IPA, Tower Station, but with a smooth THC twist and an all-in-one device. If you're in Arizona, you can swing by select local dispensaries and grab your Tower Station all-in-one from Noble Road. Cheers to happy hour all day, every day. And of course, find yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of over 130 dispensaries across Arizona. And if you're looking to make some gear, make your brand stand apart from the crowd, check to Branded Bills and check out their entire offering. They make some great hats, some great shirts, some great bags. They got you covered with a wide variety of products, but Branded Bills has you covered with the best custom headwear. We love Branded Bills hats around here. They are some of the most amazing, comfortable, lightweight. I don't know how to describe them. Damon's wearing one right now on his head, and it's like you're wearing no hat at all, quite frankly. It's like you're wearing no hat at all. And of course, you got to check out not only the selection that they have on their store over at brandedbills.com if you're a hat aficionado, but of course, check out what they can do for your brand. They can definitely make some custom gear that help make your brand stand apart from the crowd. They have partnerships with 40 universities, including ASU and U of A, and they're a local company from right here in Mesa, Arizona. So head on over to brandedbills.com and use code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. All right, Damon. Well, things have been kind of down around here for a while when we talk about the Diamondbacks. We were talking about Amiel Sade possibly getting taken away by the Rockies. We've been talking about the how little of their budget they have for free agents and to improve this team, and just kind of in general how the future of Mike Hazen and Torey Lovullo might be on the line here in 2026. But let's put on our rose-colored glasses for once and explain to the people why the future is actually bright, potentially, for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And this is brought to you by Shady Rays. Head on over to shadyrays.com and use code PHNX at checkout for 35% off polarized sunglasses. By the way, I had to do a warranty claim on some lenses that had a weird kind of peeling thing to it. Damon, it was the easiest process I've ever experienced in my entire life. And I'm just saying this from a personal perspective. I texted them a pair of my sunglasses or a picture of my sunglasses, and I got an email confirmation that new ones were being sent out within like 5 minutes.
Dude,
Incredible.
it's wild. We had a Wildcats listener who was like, he just happened to tune in right when we were doing our Shady Rays ad read, and he goes, "Oh my God, I actually lost my Shady Rays, and I had forgotten to do the policy." He had new sunglasses on the way to him by the time that our show was over. It's not a joke.
It's no joke. I mean, it's crazy, and they were the best. They were the best. But of course, our future might be bright here for the Arizona Diamondbacks, despite the fact that things do look bleak in 2026. And one of those little beacons of hope might be the idea here that Jordan Lawlar could be the center fielder of the future for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And that sounds crazy. I think just the other day, Damon, we had a Mailbag Monday question in regards to Jordan Lawlar being an outfielder. And I said I didn't hate that, but I just felt it was far more likely that he stays on the infield or in the infield, and that Blaze Alexander, who really displayed what he can do as an outfielder, went out to left field and killed it. So it just felt overall like the answer for the Diamondbacks. If you're talking about one of those two infielders switching position and becoming an outfielder, Blaze makes all the sense in the world. But meanwhile, Jordan Lawlar, it's not to say that he can't play center field. It's just to say it was a bit, it seemed a bit unlikely, right? In general, he's always played infield positions, and that's kind of where he's always been rated very highly, especially over at shortstop. We know that they need to find a new place for him to play other than shortstop, but the outfield did not seem like a very likely place for Jordan Lawlar to end up. However, we got some new information, guys. We got something happening, and Jordan Lawlar is currently playing for the Tigres del Licey in the Dominican Professional Baseball League, a.k.a. the Lidom, and he's playing center field. Now, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. As one Jesse Friedman would say, we have to wait and see if there's a bigger sample size here overall based on what the Tigres do with him. But again, we have limited information in regards to this. We just know that yesterday, he went 1 for 5, scored a run, had a double, and 2 RBIs. He struck out 3 times and played all 9 innings in center field. This was his first start of the season for the Tigres. And again, this comes down to the question of, could Jordan Lawlar actually be the answer that the Diamondbacks are looking for their outfield of the future? Again, there's the years of control, there's the athleticism. I feel like his bat still has a far way to come for him to be a viable everyday starter for this team. I just don't know if the Diamondbacks have much of a choice. If he does work out as a center field here during, the essentially the Dominican League, there's a good chance that we could see Jordan Lawlar playing center field for this team. There are some things to go against that. I mean, first, I think we have his stats, Damon. Do we have that yet?
I'm working on it.
All right, we'll get his stats up here for you in a second. But the very
too busy yapping on the pod.
I know I'm involving him entirely too much. But the first question many of you may have is, has Jordan Lawlar ever played center field? And the answer to that is no, not at all. Apparently, I did some research. Obviously, looked back at his professional career, looking at every minor league system, every Arizona complex league game he's played, basically his entire professional career with the Arizona Diamondbacks, Jordan Lawlar has not played, in fact, any outfield at all. Jordan Lawlar has not played first base. He has not really played even much second base. He has played a few games at second base, but not very many. He played 20 games at second base for the Reno Aces last year. And again, he played some for the Diamondbacks at a professional level. He played in 5 games for the Diamondbacks over there at second base in relief of Ketel Marte. But no outfield experience. Then I took it a little bit deeper, looked back at his high school years, looked back at some other information I was able to find. And Damon, I'm even reading when he committed to Vanderbilt as a high school kid. There is no outfield experience at all in Jordan Lawlar's past. So as our resident player, as our resident outfielder, I have to
Yeah,
ask her.
pro baseball
you weren't
player.
an outfielder, but
I was.
You were an outfielder. That's
Yeah.
right. So what in the world would make us think that Jordan Lawlar could play outfield?
Athleticism.
Is that purely it?
Yeah, I don't think that I don't want to diminish how hard it is to play outfield, because I think that there's an element of outfield that like is almost like instinctive,
like reaction, right?
Yeah,
like reacting to the ball hitting off the
bat.
bat.
You have to have a good first read, or else you're almost screwed. So,
but wouldn't you agree that like playing third base and second base also very much requires you to have great reaction time and
totally
reacting to
in
that,
a different
right?
way, though? But
sure.
Yes,
because
I think
they've even talked about like one position being like a forward-backward movement, and obviously shortstop being more lateral, right? But like. And this would be about your break on the ball, seeing the ball, understanding, what the trajectories look like, where it's going to fall.
With an outfielder, your first step, I think that's honestly a good differential, Derek. Your first step is, at least when you're playing children's baseball, I think that it does change a little bit when you get into the professional ranks, but you're always told to take a step back first or pause, right? Because you don't want it to go over your head.
Yeah. Right.
And it's easier to run in on something. Whereas at shortstop, for example, you're pretty much constantly running in on stuff because you're trying to eliminate the distance between you and the first baseman on the throw, right? So,
and even at third base, you might be moving back a little bit, but it might still be very similar.
Not really.
It's mostly a forward movement there as well.
Absolutely.
Right?
So
like
I think
instinctual first step.
I think it's different, but it is also very reactive. You look at a guy, and I hate to do this, even though you might say I don't, but like a guy like Jake McCarthy to me gets terrible reads, right? And I think that's obvious. He just doesn't have that like natural inherent ability that where he reads it really well, right?
Yeah.
Alek Thomas is the opposite. And Jordan Lawlar, like, yeah, it takes time to weed that out and truly get that down. But I think we've also seen with a guy like Corbin Carroll, he was a good outfielder, but he has become a great outfielder with the Diamondbacks. You look at what Dave McKay does consistently with outfielders in this organization, and if he looks at Jordan Lawlar and says that's a moldable, shapeable athlete that I can turn into a good outfielder, I turned a damn pitcher in David Peralta into a Gold Glove winning outfielder, then I think that we have to trust it as Diamondbacks fans. And I think Jordan Lawlar has all the tools to be a good outfielder. Now, have we seen it? Absolutely not yet. But I personally, I'm pretty excited about the change, and I think that it also bodes like really well for Blaze Alexander and his future in Arizona and this organization.
He's so good at third base that he just feels like the natural answer over there.
Yeah.
And again, you just trust Blaze's bat right now much more than you do Jordan's, but this is why Jordan is getting this time. Also, this is just a move, sure, by the Tigres del Licey, but Jordan wouldn't be agreeing to this if this wasn't somehow valuable to him, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't go to play in the Dominican League. That's another thing, is because I do know people have asked, obviously this isn't the Diamondbacks asking him to do this. This is a different team. But again, this isn't them asking him to do it at all. This might be him declaring that he wants to play center field because that's something the Diamondbacks have asked him to do while he's down there, right?
Yeah.
Just to see what he can do, taking actual live at bats in game competition. He could also be like here playing in the Arizona Fall League as well, doing something similar, but that would just be kind of a bit more unprecedented, than him going to the Dominican League. Plus, the level of athletes that you face off in the Dominican League is so crazy and all over the charts. You face off against major league players there. Yeah. You face off against new guys. You face off against veterans that have been playing baseball for 30 years. It's crazy.
You look over, it's Tatis. You're like, what the hell? And then it's
meanwhile, it's Bartolo Colon on the mound. You're like, what? He still plays?
There's some 16-year-old who hasn't even signed with a team yet, who's also in the starting lineup, and you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But I do have Jordan Lawlar's stats from this season, Derek. If we wanted to take
let's take a look at those from the year. And again, this is his 2025 Major League Baseball stats. Another big thing, to consider here is can he turn this around? Can he turn his offensive numbers around? 66 at bats here, 182 batting average, 545 OPS, 26 strikeouts to 6 walks. That's huge, right?
No bueno.
And then the minus 0.4 BWAR. That I care. I mean, again, This was in a situation where the Diamondbacks just absolutely had to give him major league playing time and are ready to stop viewing him as a prospect and start viewing him as a major leaguer. But overall, like, this is one of those cases where it's one start, right, Damon? So we can't overreact to it until we see if this is a trend that continues while he plays in the Lidom. But we also have this tweet from John Gambadoro, and again, where there's smoke, there might be fire here, just a little bit here, because in regards to Gambo's response about how Jordan Lawlar's day went yesterday, he said, Lawlar playing center field is very interesting. They do not want him at second base. Blaze could be the third baseman. Thomas is in center field now, but have to think someone in that group of Thomas, McCarthy, Lawlar will be discussed in trades. So that's another interesting aspect as well. The unfortunate part here being that Thomas's value, I think, is still fine, but McCarthy and Lawlar's value not super high right now. Jordan Lawlar does have the caveat, though, that he's still somewhat of a prospect.
I think Jordan Lawlar's value would be higher than Alek Thomas's.
Yeah, I mean, that to be because you don't know what
the unknown,
he can do next,
the mystery of what he could be.
In regards to Alek Thomas and Jake McCarthy, there's a good chance teams might, for the most part, feel like they've seen what they are as baseball players already and know what their ceiling is.
And with Jake, it's even like more difficult because it's like, is that ceiling what he does every other year, or is it what he does the years in between that? Because though seemingly Jake in an even versus an odd year is a completely different baseball player, and it makes no sense.
Well, and again, man, like, Jake made so many mistakes. He wasn't just bad at the plate last year. He was a liability in the outfield, and there were so many things that went wrong for him.
Base paths.
Base path, right. You just don't feel like that's him, right? Like, you just don't feel like at the end of the day that is who Jake McCarthy is, similar to the way I feel about Zach Gallen. Now, I have personal attachments to these guys, just like fans do and everybody else does. So it's hard for me to be objective.
That's why Derek doesn't take me to the ballpark, so that I can be the nasty one on the podcast and say the things that he doesn't want to say.
Because the minute Damon meets
befriending
Shohei Ohtani in real life, he'll never bash him on this podcast ever again.
I think it's probably fairly agreed upon already, and I don't know, Shohei, not saying Shohei has any clue who I am, absolutely not, but there is a non-zero chance that MLB offices would be like, don't let this guy, they'd have a picture, and they'd be like, every time they go to Arizona, don't let this guy within 100 feet of Shohei Ohtani.
I mean, that might be me, thanks to you, but
it might be guilty by association.
For sure.
Sorry about that.
Craig, no, it's fine. I'm fine with it. Craig Swanson in the chat says, we trade Lawlar away, and he's becoming an all-star within a couple of years. Keep that guy for now. Trade Alek. And yeah, again, that's the thought here is someone needs to be traded, and that they're going to need to figure out what they do for that third, fourth man there in the outfield. We've talked about their priorities, and we know.
But that's easy to find. You could find a replacement outfielder in free agency, right?
It's just another cost, though, right? When you have athletic guys right now that you're trying to figure out where they play.
Sure.
Do you think there's any world in which Blaze and Jordan Lawlar both play the outfield? I mean,
I don't, because they just need a third baseman so damn bad.
Right.
And I find it hard to believe that they would pick both the guys who are primed to be the next guys up at third base say, we're moving both of you to outfield. I think that this is an indicator, Derek, that they clearly believe more in Blaze Alexander's infield defense than Jordan Lawlar's infield defense. You see it there in the tweet from Gambo. He talks about Blaze playing third. He talks about how the Diamondbacks do not want Jordan Lawlar at second base. It seems pretty obvious that the Dbacks are seeing a lot of those errors and a lot of times mental mistakes that Jordan Lawlar was making last season.
Yeah.
And they think maybe he's just not cut out for the infield. Maybe at the major league level, his athleticism will bode better for being an outfielder. And I think that when you look at the offensive production of the current outfielders on the roster, minus Corbin, Jordan Lawlar fits right in.
Yeah.
Jordan Lawlar, despite his struggles, is good enough to get playing time in the outfield right now with Alek Thomas and Jake McCarthy. And as we talked about, he has way more of a mystery and an unknown of what his ceiling could be, where if you give him a bunch of ABs, maybe he becomes significantly better than those two.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think I'm intrigued by the move.
I am too. And again,
honest.
this could be little to do over nothing, or much to do over nothing, I should say. But it could be here the fact that if we continue to see him play in center field, and I mean he might go to third base tomorrow, and then all of this is a moot point, right? Like they might.
Is Jordan Lawlar the third baseman of the future?
Yeah, right. Like, but I mean, it's literally how fast things could change based on the fact that we don't know much about this move. I do not believe that the Diamondbacks would let Jordan Lawlar go play in a different league during the winter, in a winter league like this, and not do something that's productive for his future, and switching positions to a position he's never played before makes zero sense unless they want him to try this out and want him to see if this is something that could work. And 2BMC says Lawlar needs to work on his mental game. He plays it off like he's chill, but to me, he looks nervous on the inside. If he masters that, I think he'd be a great infielder. I'll say this. Again, this goes to my personal attachment. I really like Jordan Lawlar as a person, and I really do think, like, it's kind of like Brandon Pfaadt. Like, that chill persona you see is kind of authentic. I know it seems ridiculous, especially being a professional athlete that plays a sport like this, but I do think that baseball does have it's a certain benefit to be able to be a very even-keeled person, right? Like someone that doesn't get super emotional and someone that is perceived, or as we would perceive it, to be chill, right? So, but I mean, again, you could be onto something. It could be, maybe just a facade for sure. I just think that really is him, There are some guys that are definitely not chill. That's for sure. And I'm not going to name those, but Ryan Thompson, you know who you are. He wants to choke slam me in the clubhouse every time I see him. That's definitely not chill behavior, but I don't know, man. Again, we'll have to continue to monitor this, and we will continue to give you updates on how Lawlar is doing over there in the Dominican, and hopefully maybe we'll see if this develops into a trend, something that continues to happen, a position he continues to play, or if it's just, kind of a temporary thing. Again, very interesting though, because that could at least solve one of the Diamondbacks' problems as far as, a position that we feel like they need to go out and fill or trade for, despite the fact that one of the people they could trade for is another outfielder. I don't know. It's all, none of it really makes sense to me at times. And that's because the Diamondbacks are, in fact, a mess when it comes to 2026. But on the other side of this break, we're going to do something fun. We're going to introduce you to a brand new segment we have on this show, and we are going to see if I am, in fact, a baseball savant. Ooh, we'll find out on the other side of this break. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Well, Circle K is America's thirst stop. You guys all know that, but Circle K has some of the cheapest gas that you can find. And on top of that, you got to go out there, get yourself the easy pay option, stack deal upon deal, keep your eye out for those Inner Circle fuel days. And of course, join the Inner Circle right now for free by downloading the app. It's easy. You just enroll on the app and then use your phone number to get deals on lots of things, including gas, where you can fill up once per week with 5-gallon fill up, or buy $5 worth of items in store, and you will get 10 cents off per gallon on your next fill up. And you can earn that reward as an Inner Circle member once per week. You can also get yourself 79-cent Polar Pops, 99-cent Frosters, and so much more. They are always giving you free stuff in the app. You'll get 3 Gatorades for $5, and of course, all sorts of fun food purchases over there. So stop by Circle K anytime, but first make sure you join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions do apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details. Again, I don't know if I told this story already on the show because these days all blend together, but I was up in Prescott Valley and I got surprised by Bo's stupid face popping up there telling me about the PHNX Cardinal show. I can never get away from these people, but that's what happens when you shop at Circle K. Also, a great purchase you can make at Circle K, Arizona lottery tickets. Those scratchers are great anytime, but 'tis the season for scratchers right now. 'Tis the season for over $80 million in prizes over there at Arizona Lottery. Right now, you can play those holiday tickets from Arizona Lottery for the chance to fill your stockings with cash. And of course, they make the best gifts. Everybody loves the scratchers as a gift, so it makes gift giving so much easier this holiday season, especially when you are a procrastinator like some of you tend to be. It's a great last minute gift. Of course, everybody loves to get scratchers, and when it comes to holiday gifts, holiday scratchers are the best place to start. So love to play and spread holiday cheer with holiday scratchers from the Arizona Lottery. Play and gift today. Must be 21 or over to play. Well, Damon, we very much know that Jesse Friedman was in fact the baseball savant on this podcast. And I've never claimed to be a smart man when it comes to baseball, but regardless of knowing that, Damon decided he wanted to test my knowledge on Baseball Savant. So we're going to take a look at some Diamondbacks players without their names. Is that it? We're going to look at players without their names, and I am supposed to figure out which Arizona Diamondback player we are looking at. Is that how this game is going to go, Damon?
Yeah, essentially, we just have a Baseball Savant graphic up on the screen where Derek will be tasked with just looking at their underlying metrics and deciding which Diamondbacks player that is.
Oh, man.
So how much does this guy truly know ball? That's what we're trying to figure out here.
This is about to get embarrassing, I think.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm just putting the finishing touch on the last one here, Derek. So we're just about ready to start.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Kevin Conqueso wants me to throw some shade. I will.
Is that shocking?
No,
I mean, Kevin Conqueso. No, he would never ask for shade.
He would never ever want me to throw shade. But no, of course we know that the Diamondbacks players are fairly identical by their Baseball Savant pages.
Yeah,
but,
of
course. We also know, like I said, that at times I may have been accused of not knowing ball, Damon. So let's see if I do in fact know ball. What do we got here?
You're not reading those, are you?
I did not read anything.
Okay, no. Good. I have last names just on them when I.
Okay.
So don't look at the thing.
I'll keep my eyes closed.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got? We got one yet?
Yeah. Let's do this first one here.
Okay. All right. We got. Oof. These numbers are rough. Let's see. This is a pitcher.
Yes.
Okay. So we got. Pitching velocity, fastball velocity, mid, everything else pretty bad. Let's see, his walk percentage wasn't terrible.
He also, I think a good thing to talk about here is the dashed lines signify that he does not qualify for, a lot of these statistics because he did not pitch enough.
Correct.
So it's likely someone that was not on the team the entire year.
Okay. Let's see. With decent, or not decent, but average fastball velocity. I am going to go perhaps with, this might be throwing shade on him, but Nabil Krismat?
How do you want me to play your answers? Do you want me to?
No, you could just tell me if I'm wrong and let me know.
You are wrong.
Okay.
And now, do you want me to tell you who it is, or do you want?
Okay. So, I'm probably guessing reliever and not starter, and that's probably the direction I went. So, reliever. This looks like a Jake Woodford. I'll go Jake Woodford.
It is not Jake Woodford. I'll give you a third and final guess here, Derek.
Oh, wait. Is it John Curtis? He's always there. I should have known it was John Curtis. How did I not know it was John Curtis?
John Curtis said, if you don't discuss me on the pod today, Damon, we're going to have some problems.
He did not ding, 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 ding. Walk a lot of guys, and that's the only thing he did truly, truly well. His fastball was mid, but everything else, yeah. All right. What else we got? Let's do the next one.
Let's go to the next one here, Derek. Let's close your eyes.
I'm gonna figure out a way. Close my eyes.
Yeah,
All
close your
right.
eyes.
I close them. I'm going to figure out a way to make this a little bit more entertaining for our audio listeners.
We are ready for our second option here, Derek.
Okay. All right. We got here a position player.
Correct.
We got batting, fielding, base running. Not very good at a lot of things. So we have a pretty bad XBA at 223. Expected batting average, 410 slug. Another not qualified, right?
Yeah, a lot of not qualified statistics there outside of the fielding and running stuff. Really high in barrel percentage, hard hit percentage, sweet spot percentage, chase percentage, and walk percentage.
Okay.
Very low in xWOBA, XBA, xSlug, squared up percentage, whiff percentage, and K percentage. And then not a great fielder, doesn't have a lot of arm strength, and pretty slow.
His range is -2. All right. And then it's somebody that didn't play all season. Sprint speed, very slow.
I feel like sprint speed is a good indicator of, like, we could almost cut half the roster.
No, yeah. For sure. It's none of the young guys, right? I mean, it's none of the fast young guys. I think Jake McCarthy's sprint speed is incredible. So it wouldn't be Jake even with, well, I don't think Jake's numbers would be this good for some of these, like barrel percentage and hard hit percentage.
God, no.
No. And sweet spot? No. All right. This is Pavin Smith.
You are on the money, sir.
It
is absolutely Pavin
Smith.
It is absolutely Pavin Smith.
Yeah, I got one.
Honestly, so I was when I was putting these together, Derek, the two that I was like, I think the most obvious two would be Pavin and Perdomo.
Yeah.
Because you can look at Pavin and be like, okay, so he's good. The underlying metrics like him in all of these statistics, but he's still not a good hitter.
Right.
He's slow.
Right. Yeah, that's what confused
Smith.
me. His hard hit percentage and his bat or barrel percentage being so high.
Yeah.
But then his expected batting average being 223. Like, that's atrocious.
It's classic Pavin.
Classic.
And then for example, if we did Jerry, it would just be like walk percentage 99
percentile,
K percentage 1, and you'd be like, oh, I wonder who it is.
Yeah, that one would be pretty obvious.
All right, Derek, are we ready for our third and final?
This. Yeah, let's do one more. Let's do one more.
I need eyes closed.
All right, I'm going eyes closed.
We are ready.
All right, what do we got? All right. Okay, so we've already swapped things around considerably here on sprint speed. Is that 98th percentile?
It is 98th percentile.
Oof. All right. Still not a great fielder. And wow, these are bad batting. Okay. So my initial thought is Tyler Locklear, but not with that sprint speed. And I think Tyler Locklear would even have better hitting numbers than this for like barrel percentage and hard hit percentage.
So it is not Tyler Locklear.
No. I'm not.
I will say that when I did I know you weren't guessing. When I looked up Tyler Locklear's for this game, he had the worst Baseball Savant page I've ever seen.
Like worse than this?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
0 red. 0 red.
Okay.
Even the launch angle sweet spot percentage was at the bottom. The chase percentage was at the bottom. I mean, that guy he has a lot to figure out.
Okay, so the sprint speed thing and everything else makes me think Jorge Barosa is what I feel like this is. But I don't even know if his sweet spot and chase percentage would be that high because he chased a lot of stuff. I don't. Is it Jordan Lawlar?
It is Jordan Lawlar.
Oh my God!
Good job, Derek. 2 for 3 on your first guess, and then you got the third one on your third guess.
Well, the third one was funny just because I felt like there was something you were saying that made me think we were going to show John Curtis's face. And then when I thought Jake Woodford, I was like, it's Jake Woodford or John Curtis. It's one of those two guys.
You should have known it was John Curtis. Let's call it like
He's always there.
He is.
He's always there.
Jarmy just looked up Tyler's Savant page and he just said, whoa.
Yeah.
Not good. No bueno.
Not great. And again, those are the stats. Like you see even guys that struggle when we're looking at those pages right there, like guys that have struggles, they still have things that they're very good at, right? And so even though we might not look at them as a good hitter, when you see they're in the 99th percentile for something like chase percentage or whatever, that tells coaches and front offices that this guy's really got something going on because yeah, rest of his stats might not be great, but doesn't swing and chase at a lot of stuff, which means he has a great eye for the zone. And again, that's the reason Pavin Smith was declared as being like having the best eye that most people have ever seen for the zone. So that also spoke to me.
And then Geraldo Perdomo existed.
And then there's Perdomo. Don't even get me started on him. But all right, well,
Jerry knows the zone better than the umps.
Jason says Jesse would be proud of you. Damn right. I might clip that and send it to him. That's like I would for my dad. Like, see what I did today, Jesse? Look what I did.
Text Jesse and say, hey, tune in from like the 45-minute mark.
Well, we appreciate you guys. Thank you to Jason for being a member of our supporters club. If you are not one already, make sure to join us. It's a great time. Great thing that really helps us out a lot. It actually truly does support us, and it is true sicko level stuff. Of course, if you send at least one super chat per month, put it towards the supporters club. Get yourself a special badge. Be part of our family. You get access to all of those wonderful emojis and so much more. So make sure to join us today, and we'll have some exclusive content. I think the Cardinals already have some members-only videos out there, but again, that's a big part of it as well. I know Damon and I are going to be doing some Dbacks after dark just so we can curse some more and throw some more shade. And of course, we thank all of you that have already joined. You guys have no idea how appreciative we truly are of you. We're really kicking ass when it comes to supporters club across ALLCITY, and it really means a lot to us here. We, again, like us that support and watch baseball during the offseason, we are small, but we are mighty. So thank you guys again for your support. Speaking of which, great to see the boys supporting Alek Thomas this weekend. We had a little peek into Alek Thomas's bachelor party on Instagram. I'm not going to show it on here. You guys can go look at it there. But it was interesting to me to see a baseball player's bachelor party, kind of, right? Like, they rented a house, they played poker, they played other sports. It's kind of hilarious because I feel like they did all the things that they normally do during the baseball season, right? They played sports, they hung out, they played cards. Like, that's a typical day for them during the regular season. But interesting to see who is in the inner circle of trust with Alek Thomas. Damon and I did not get the invite. I don't know. That might be on me. See, Damon is young enough to attend this event. I think I might have aged my way out of it. And I think that because we go over to Tori's house on Sundays, Damon might just be lumped in with me. So that could be why he didn't get the invite to Alek Thomas's bachelor party. But
yeah, I don't really know what's going on there. I thought Al and I were tight.
Yeah, no, that was the surprising. I thought for sure when I saw the group picture, I was going to see Damon like right in the middle. But
that would actually be like a dream come true.
Oh, it would be. Yeah, the only way we're getting invited to that function is if we are Uber delivery guys. That's the only way we're getting into that.
Maybe this is a bad take, Derek, and maybe I'm a bad guy for saying this, but how fun do you think that bachelor party really is? Like, is it actually fun?
I don't know.
Because
it wasn't all baseball players
in a bachelor party weekend, and it's nothing good.
Yeah, no, I mean,
we're not professional athletes.
Yeah, see, he has to be careful in a way that you and I do not have to be careful. Professional athletes.
Now, they do have the level of money to make things
correct.
Really interesting.
Way more interesting.
Exactly.
Maybe that's what they were doing. Maybe those poker games that you see on Instagram there is far more lucrative. I don't know why I want to say lucrative.
What's Corbin like at a damn bachelor party?
What's Corbin like after 4 shots of tequila?
Whoa. Imagine he's just a completely different guy.
Just the most talkative guy you've ever met. Just won't shut up. Just will talk your ear off.
Have you ever seen the movie? It's not really a movie. I would expect you to see. It's called 21 and Over. It has Miles Teller in it.
No, I have not seen that.
Well, he has a friend who's like studying to be a doctor, and like they get him super drunk on his 21st birthday. And he becomes a wild animal. They spend the entire movie chasing him down and trying to find him on campus.
Brian says he's like a gremlin. That would be amazing.
I'm wondering if like Corbin is like goes from like the most like reserved guy in the world to like, oh my God, we lost Corbin again.
We're going streaking.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to know that. I also need to know if Kendrick's nephew Lamar got invited to it. We got to make that a thing, right? We got to make Lamar Kendrick, Kendrick something. No,
I'd be like,
Anyway, we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Damon and I love you for it. We will be back tomorrow with another 12 p.m. show, hopefully talking about our Blue Jays taking an advantage in the World Series. Until then, you can follow us on Twitter. I am at cap_caveman with a K. Damon is at Damon Dog with a DAWG. We are all Damon's dogs. Bark, bark. Our show is at PHNX_Dbacks, but as always, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And Brian says, bring the syrup. Let's do it. I'm going to go purchase a full-size bottle unopened of Toronto. Did I say Toronto? I don't know. Some sort of Canadian maple syrup, and I will drink the whole thing when we win the trophy.
Buddy the Elf style.
Just
You guys
bottoms
have
up.
maple syrup for the spaghetti?
Bottoms up. Bottoms up. I can't wait. Well, again, we thank you guys so much for your time. Appreciate you. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, have yourselves a wonderful evening. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when Jordan Lawlar figures out how to play center field.
We all silly like the mayor.